see you all again. Reflecting on beauty this morning and recognizing how energy flows in and out. Today I woke up feeling very familiar. Energy just penetrating inside. Last night I took a little time for myself and didn't talk to anyone. There's a lot of outgoing energy. Monday, for those of you who are here and those who weren't, we had a pretty surprisingly packed room. The energy was flowing outward, and it was just like flowing into the Sacred Mind Center. We had a lot of new people, and I was just like flying on that energy throughout the day, going, that was just awesome, totally awesome. But I also felt my own energy throwing that out there, and a couple people saying, yeah, you're doing it, it's happening. You're showing up, so other people are showing up. And today, and then yesterday, so that was Monday, then yesterday, Tuesday, a lot of outgoing energy, a lot of activity for me yesterday. Spending a lot of one-on-one time with folks. And then today, I feel very more like, I definitely have a feeling like I need to find the woods today. I need to go take a nice long walk and just be by myself and be in nature. Take a break from the city, the town, which I may do. Probably, yes. Absolutely. Decision made. So, because I was walking here and I was noticing there's a tree on Walnut right next to the garage, and it was blooming, and it wasn't blooming on Monday, or at least I didn't recognize it on Monday, so in the last 48 hours, little buds started to come up, little red buds. And I just had to stop for a minute and go, oh. New life springing forth, renewed life springing forth. And so, looking at the sun, recognizing just all the little bits and pieces to be thankful for. So, very reflective and very much just the beauty of life. Even with all its tough stuff, even with all its I don't know questions that are even present for me. What's coming up this summer? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? How are things continuing forward? Doesn't really matter. I'm right here, right now. That's all that matters. I'm appreciating the beauty of being able to share energy work with people. Energy play, changing that word. Energy work, it's not work, it's play. It really is just being in the flow of it. And then being in the meditation this morning, just feeling that energy just flowing in, and holding my hands in a very simple circular mudra, with thumbs attached and hands resting, and I could feel my hands heating up, just as I felt this energy flowing into my heart and out my arms, down into the lower areas, and I was just like, beautiful. Moving some chi without even moving, that's rocking. And directing that energy down through my legs and into the mat and into the earth, and going ahead and forward and connecting with all that is, simply by being in this space with all of you and the people that are checking in from around the southeast or the world, perhaps, because we're making ourselves available that way. And so you can't help but be appreciative when you're in that space of receiving and just reflecting on all the beauty that is. And as I was in my meditation, I was getting flashed with mountain ranges, children's faces and places that I haven't seen except maybe, on pictures, TV or in movies, going, yeah, I'm going to see that someday. I'm going to see the beauty of this planet beyond the beauty that exists right here in these beautiful old mountains, beyond the beauty of this space that we're in that holds such gorgeous energy. Can I have another bus story? Imagine that. Since I rode the bus this morning, I left my bike here on Monday because it was raining, so I rode the bus this morning and I was just looking at the people. I love looking at people. You know, and kind of like feeling, reading where, you know, somebody gets new on the bus and, you know, where they are. It's always stern looks, or not always, but often, you know, see them thinking what they got to do this day. Are they on time? Did they miss the last bus? And sit down. I'm that guy that kind of sits there and goes, waiting for somebody to look at me. Somebody looks up like, why is he looking at me? And then they look up again just to make sure. And I smile. And they smile back even briefly. Come on in, please. So I just love that little process of sharing without words. But then something interesting happened. I started looking at more of the features of people, like their eyes and their eyebrows and their mouth, and their hair. And I focused on ears today. So for about 10 minutes on the bus, I'm looking at everybody's ears. I'm like comparing sizes. I'm looking at, oh, that's good. And this guy, he had like light from the sun was shining through it, and it was out like this, and it was rather large. And I was like, it was like red and beautiful, and like I could see the light shining through it, and it was iridescent. And I was like, that's awesome. What a beautiful ear. I know, right? So I'm looking at people's ears, and looking at the differences, and yet how they're all the same, and how they're a funny thing, the ears. We don't really, you know, we do things with them, we put things in them, and but yet they're so useful. I mean, you know, they're useful, they're purposeful, but yet there's this strange beauty about them if you just focus on the ears. And it was bringing me such joy. Then I used to think about the game where you lick your finger and you stuck it in people's ears. Gave it wet willies. And I love giving that game but not receiving it. So more joy, more beauty. I don't know why, it's just so kind of funny. And then it made me think of that American Beauty, the film, where the bag is flowing in the wind, right? And the guy is giving his little speech on, he videotapes this bag just spinning around, this big plastic bag. He says that sometimes there's just so much beauty in the world, I can't take it. I just want to cry. Because it's true. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of suffering, and there's a lot of anger. And there's a lot of people not getting along, and there's a lot of people dying and killing each other. I'm not pretending that I live in this perfect Pollyanna world, because I live on this planet with all of you. But it's easily to get caught up in that. It's easily to get caught up in the stuff. And I know a lot of us don't hear because we choose not to pay attention per se. To be aware is one thing. I think we're all very aware of what's going on in the world. But we're not feeding ourselves what other people may be feeding us, which is the focusing on what's not working versus what can work or what will. And how you shift the paradigm of being simply by you shifting the vibration of your being. And you do that by focusing on the beauty, the other side of the coin, the really gorgeous things, the people who are giving up their time and their effort and their energy to help those who are dying, who are starving, who are killed. Or to look for new ways of existing on a planet where our resources are becoming very limited because so many of us consume them regardless of need. So even something like a plastic bag, which can be the symbology for all that's wrong in the world, petroleum product, waste, killing animals in the seas, garbaging or trashing our woods. Or it can be a thing of intense beauty, watching it dance in the wind. There's always different ways to look at all things, or to look at it here. We look at how we all have them, and how well are we using them to listen, to pay attention, to appreciate, a laugh, a kind word, a joke, a wet lip. And to reach inward and to feel all of that and not be ashamed of it, because I think that's one of the other things that we can somewhat get a little affected by. I hear people sometimes say, you live in this pretend world, your little yoga, qigong, meditation life. Who are you? You're not really here. And I go, oh, really? Oh, But for some, it can cause you to question, do I? Am I really? Am I isolating myself from the rest of reality as the world knows? And in some ways, yes, I chose that. I could still be living in Atlanta. I could still be running a rat race. I could still be making quite a bit of money, driving a nice car, having my condo, throwing parties. But that reality wasn't for me. That didn't bring me joy. That didn't bring me peace. That didn't bring me satisfaction on an ultimate level. It was temporary. It did bring me a certain amount of joy, but it was something that I couldn't or wouldn't sustain. It didn't feed me. It fed my ego very well. So now what feeds me is riding on a bus, smiling at people, showing up 3 times a week to share energy play, taking 10 or 15 minutes to expound on some of my observations and reflections and hopes that the words might inspire and or remind us of what's important. That's beautiful. It's something that I think can be very well sustained. And it has beautiful ripple effects in the planet. So today's reflection and group intention is I want you to be able to look and see at all the beautiful things around you. Things that bring you, that sustain you, that encourage and inspire you, and how we can share those with other people.
A vast virus database has been updated.
Beautiful! My computer is now more protected than it was before. Gorgeous. And I just love her voice. I say thank you all the time every time she talks to me. Thank you. So informative. So that'll be our hold for today for class. And if you're having a hard time doing that, then let somebody know. Ask for help. Because we get there, we do that. I'm having a hard time today at seeing the beauty in the world, let alone the beauty in my life. Reach out. Energy is all about flowing in and out, in and out. And sometimes we do have to just go within ourselves and be there and be with that and find it ourselves. And sometimes it's like, nope, I need help today. I need someone to go with a walk with me in the woods. Or whatever. Or just come sit and be with me. remind my soul how beautiful it is. Don't let ego to get out of the way. Cool. So that'll be our hold for today. And we'll have lots to appreciate and reflect upon. All right.